Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. The whales had been becoming aquatic AF and he should channel them. And it's all because they've been gorging on XRP. Here's what's going on. According to today's top story, 1.1 billion XRP were recently purchased by whales. It's as if they have some premonition, or at least a strong suspicion, that XRP is about to embark on a meteoric rise in value. It's intriguing to observe these splashy whales becoming aquatic and to learn how they differ from the normal retail lemmings that rely crucial purchasing and selling decisions on the opinions of strangers in the street. It's also helpful, and now that we're in the third quarter of the year, wow, time is flying rapidly. I have some intriguing statistics about XRP activity in the second quarter. Also, I'd want to show you an intriguing chart about cryptocurrency adoption in general. Not just Bitcoin, as that currency currently dominates the market, but the ideas presented therein. In my opinion, XRP is 100%. The reason it deserves special attention is that it graphically depicts just how early it is, which is helpful because it's easy to feel behind the times when it comes to cryptocurrency, especially if you only started investing in it this year. And I can tell you that once some time has passed, you will indeed recognize, not even close, sorry to say. It seems to be the case. I remember getting started with cryptocurrency in 2017, so I can relate if you're just getting started now. I thought, man, I wish I had gotten here sooner. Even now, I regret not arriving sooner. However, many of these things are ultimately irrelevant. Even then I saw the good times were only beginning for you, son. Since nearly no one on the earth has ever owned any cryptocurrency for any length of time, props to you all for being here and paying attention. But before we go any further, I should mention that I have zero experience in the financial sector. I'm not here to give you money tips. And remember, you should never use anything I say as a reason to buy or sell something. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. Okay, so this article claims. Also, if you're a huge fan of Santiman's excellent on-chain analytics, you can find useful contextual information there. So, Peter reads what comes next. Lou, a crypto analyst at a firm called Santiment, claims that whales have spent $570 million on 1.1 billion XRP since February. Since the beginning of 2023, whales have been consistent purchasers, typically increasing their holdings at times of collapse or consolidation. Exactly. And that's why I started the video by saying, because this is not how most limited retail speculators act, we can say that their behavior is abnormal. Oh, the price is dropping. I guess I should get up before it gets any worse. I should probably make a purchase now before costs increase any more dramatically than they have over the past year. That's how you get your hands on the best of the best. But that's just the way it is. It's exciting to see so many whales buying XRP in large amounts. And if you consider the present and future of XRP, you'll agree that it's been great so far. So 2022, the price action this year was a little bit of a trash fire, what with all the hoopla and the crash. You guys FTX already know everything else I could possibly tell you. Yet Mossari did indeed report. In my opinion, it's quite decent overall. It's quite lengthy, so I won't summarize it all, but I will highlight what they considered to be the most important takeaways. So, they took into account the following year-to-date. XRP circulating market cap is up 42.5%, largely due to a strong first quarter. However, Q2 market cap was $24.8 billion, down 10.7% from Q1 and $27.8 billion. So, I felt the need to mention that. To begin, it has been an outstanding year thus far. The value of XRP has increased by 42.5%. In particular, by the end of the year 2020. Despite the lack of price activity, many prominent cryptocurrency industry figures predicted that XRP will soon be pushed out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. This has not yet occurred. Because the price is being held down artificially. In my view, that is. Because of this ridiculous SEC regulation, it is in my opinion. In terms of the quarterly drop, that, in my opinion, is irrelevant. It's important to keep in mind that the huge uptick in activity wasn't caused entirely by the general trend of cryptocurrency prices going up. That's correct, that was a factor. The price of XRP continues to track the price of other cryptocurrencies. That's me, done with the American press. When the Daubert motion was finally resolved in early March, Judge Torres issued a fantastic judgment. In my perspective, XRP's potential as an investment began to emerge around that time. That wasn't going to happen, of course, and that's not unexpected. That was a really large increase, obviously. At that point, XRP had already risen to a high of 58 cents. The Hindman developments also provided some suspense. And XRP's value increased somewhat for a while. But at this point, all we want is for the case to be over with. It's hardly shocking that it's declining, and neither is the current state of Bitcoins. The market is merely responding to one another. So, I figured I'd throw that out there. However, there has been a rise in popularity and action. In regards to NFTs, I'm sure you're all aware of the XLS20, which was enacted last year and provides improved native capability, Layer 1 on the XRP ledger. This is being taken up by the masses. The average number of NFT transactions per day has risen from 13,800 to 15,500, a 12.7% increase quarter over quarter. Quarter over quarter, all but one type of NFT transaction grew, with NF token generate offer becoming the most common type of NFT transaction by a wide margin. I should note that this is merely the gist of my current line of thought. I've been in crypto for about 6 years, and one of the first things I realized was that, in the long run, price will follow utility. That's not happening nearly enough, and neither are people's ability to distinguish between, say, cryptocurrencies in 2019 and cryptocurrencies in 2023. I still believe it, despite the doubts, and I find that to be a very encouraging thought. Great to see this growth in terms of NFTs, which aren't a passing fad and aren't merely expensive for what they are. We may expect JPEGs to remain popular. They serve a practical purpose. So, that's good enough for that. Let's not waste any more time and get started. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's easy to feel left out of the conversation. However, you simply aren't. Few actual people work in crypto these days. Around 4% of the global population is thought to have possessed cryptocurrency at any given moment. Despite the widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies over the past 14 years, only roughly 4% of the world's population accounts for the total weight of all XRP ever created. Congratulations once more. Actually, you are way too early for this gathering. Here's the headline from today's huddle: it's impolite to come up before the host is ready to host. Bitcoin, according to on-chain analyst Willy Woo, will increase significantly over the next decade. This is the reason why. Willy Chan, a popular cryptocurrency analyst, predicts Bitcoin's value would skyrocket over the next decade. Bitcoin, Wu assures his 1.1 million Twitter followers, is still in the early stages of its adoption S-curve, with the majority of its growth still to come. Yes, he is completely correct in his assessment. And if you can keep your eyes on the screen, it's well worth it. We have a graph for you to view. I'll break it down as we go along. However, allow me to proceed with the article. Due to the fact that it tends to recur, all that was done was to superimpose a S-curve on top of a bell curve. And, really what they're demonstrating is the same thing, they're just providing two different examples of the same concept. So, allow me to elaborate a bit further. The adoption of a technology, which typically begins slowly before speeding up significantly and then leveling off, can be represented graphically by a S-curve. He went on to mention the S-curve of monetary adoption as the reason Bitcoin will do better in the coming decades. As of right now, 4% of the global population, but that number is only increasing up. This is roughly where we'll be at, and you can see where he's pointing. And this is the area I'm now orbiting in regards to true adoption if we're talking about a complete transition. Can you tell, by looking at the clock, how early it is? What's more cooler is that the rate of adoption skyrockets exponentially. So, it's not as obvious now, but it's been growing steadily and rapidly over the past 14 years. And it's going to accelerate until you reach the tipping point when there aren't enough people to adopt anymore and the rate begins to decline. Because of your early arrival, you will be able to witness the build-up. The exciting aspect is that this is genuine Bitcoin right here, if you take the long view, as he does. Yeah. Bitcoin. If the thesis holds, then yes. The value will skyrocket from where it is now. However, XRP is one of the reasons why this is possible. Also, I can attest as a holder that there are significantly fewer people and resources involved. When it occurs, the amount of money needed to cause a doubling, tripling, or quadrupling in price is substantially smaller. This sounds interesting to me. The S-curve, seen above in green, is merely a graphical representation of the exponential growth in adoption and the understanding of how long it would take. You're exhibiting the bell curve as well, by the way. On one end of the bell curve are the people who are quick to embrace new ideas and practices, the early adopters, while on the other end are the laggards, or those who are slow to adapt. That's why you can think of it as two examples of the same idea. What you did next, laying one on top of the other, was fine. However, it is precisely what makes this so thrilling. XRP is my biggest hope in the cryptocurrency market, and there are many other reasons why I get more and more enthused about it every day. This is the crux of the matter. In my opinion, the average person has a real shot at becoming financially secure. Too bad the vast majority of people aren't paying attention. I'm sorry they're going through this, but at least you're paying attention. And that doesn't rule out the possibility of harm. For this reason, I do not believe that most people will ever amass sufficient wealth to retire comfortably. But what I am trying to express is that the possibility exists. When it comes to making sound financial decisions, humans are sometimes their own worst enemies. This is especially true when it comes to investing in the fuel fields. Maybe you don't usually act that way. I am not giving investment advice by suggesting that someone should purchase, sell, or hold any particular asset. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't rely on your gut instincts when it comes to major financial decisions. Okay, maybe that's a terrible idea in the grand scheme of things. However, now that we're halfway through the year, I can't wait to see what happens next. Now that we're halfway through the year, we can safely anticipate an interesting resolution in the SEC versus Ripple case, or at least a ruling on the summary judgment motion from Judge Torres. And that might just be the impetus we need to get things moving forward. This comes amid a context in which cryptocurrency has generally fared quite well this year. As a result, we may say that Bitcoin is gaining momentum. Friends, I'm on the lookout for a perfect storm scenario. That's a key reason why I'm so pumped up. So, we'll see what happens, and I try to be as practical as possible all the time. I get it, there is the possibility that I am mistaken and everything collapses to zero. Sure, I get it. To be sure, I believe I am being rather reasonable in this discussion. It's really early. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, I am confident. That has absolutely no doubt in my mind. Unless, of course, you want to bring up the oddball scenario where an asteroid wipes out humanity. All okay then. What the heck are you doing outside? It's crazy. No. It's here to stay. Happy days, pals. I don't give advice on money matters. Nothing I say should influence any transactions you make. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.